93%了，应该靠近了。来吧，12点。12点开始。
A few more questions, if you don't mind.
12点了，大家都还不睡觉。
酒吧不是开到凌晨。
Did you know Kate Vine was a prime candidate?
No. That's all for the moment, thank you. A few more questions, if you don't mind. Be back later on, if that's okay.
不然按照跳出去，不好意思啊，我就敲门进去，然后什么都没问题。电子世界
Couple
他
more
也骂。
questions, if
我
that's
是觉得
okay.
你看那个场景有点像半夜 intern。
Well, as Ryan has probably already told you, yes, she was.
Did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, it's company policy. Leaders don't get involved.
And it covers your back, of course.
Well, nobody knows the students better than they do, Inspector. It's much better to let them just work it out among themselves.
It isn't very professional to force students to test each other to the point where one of them gets killed, Paul.
We don't force students to do anything that they don't want to do, Inspector.
So you don't force them into being tested?
No, we don't encourage anybody to hurt or offend anybody else here.
You don't use threshold testing, for instance?
No. If Simon Thompson went too far with Kate, that's his responsibility, not ours. He's the one you should be speaking to, if truth be told. I don't trust him myself.
大家都在怪 Simon。Don't use threshold testing. Students not encouraged to work.
Thank you. Probably be back later. A few more questions, please. Thank you. That's it for the time being. Thank you. Ask you a couple more things, please. How do you think you'd have reacted if you'd found out that Kate had been chosen to be prime candidate?
Is that... was she?
I'm just asking how you think you'd react.
I don't know. I wouldn't react in any way, really. I'm not bothered. I don't think she was, though.
What makes you think that?
Well, it's just an impression I got. You know, she's a bit flaky, to be honest. It's just not really prime candidate material.
Thank you. Probably be back later. Do you know whether Kate was in the running to be prime candidate or not?
I don't, but I do think she would have been chosen just because she was, you know, Kate.
You didn't discuss it with Kate?
No. No, she never talked about Ambers.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
他还不在。我有点在生气。
你也是给随便接人的。
啊？
对，是可以随便接。
家里那是帮烧死。哎，不见了！哇塞！现在要想办法解开。
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind. Be back later on, if that's okay. Ask about a few more things, please.
没有问到啊，有啊。
You say you don't endorse threshold testing, that's the phrase, isn't it?
Yes.
Except you do, Paul, because you told me that the students use that CD in the mirror room. I've listened to that CD, and it very clearly mentions threshold testing. You keep batting this away, Paul. We don't really use hypnosis. The students aren't really tested, but I am this close to launching a full-scale investigation.
Look, we get a kickback from these students, and they have to be exceptional. Of course we have to test them. That doesn't mean we do anything illegal. What do you think we do? Bump off the ones we don't like?
Well, that depends on how far you push them, doesn't it?
Well, we certainly don't kill them. Nobody here wanted Kate dead.
I'm sure they didn't. But what do you expect, Paul, when you put students under that much pressure?
She was a very, very valuable student. She was worth a lot to the business.
Really? And how much would that be?
But if you really want to know, 50 grand.
She was worth 50 grand?
Yes.
What, you were selling her?
Of course we were selling her. You don't get this, do you? We make perfect employees. Month after month. That's all we do.
What do you mean, perfect employees?
What big business needs, Inspector, more than anything else, is none of this altruistic, goody-goody crap. What we look for is people with ambition, no ethics, push, greed is good, all right? We don't deal with all this comfort stuff. The survival of the fittest, that's all there is. There's no higher purpose, no big plan. There's nothing at the end of the rainbow, except what you have and you can enjoy in the here and now.
And what do you enjoy now, Paul?
You're gonna have to excuse me, Inspector. I'm a very busy man. I've got work to do.
I'll see myself out.
Lovely man, your father.
我这两个人都好
Shut
生
the gate
气
on。your way out. 确定这是设定吗？
的确蛮亮的，有打光，但是他把它调亮。
He's doing his level best to shut this place down. Get rid of him.
He's a policeman. We can't just.
You saw this, right? You man up and you sort it. Tonight.
你们两个，来哦，我找开友来哦。危险了！不 ，Inspector，休息。
That doesn't sound good. Two totally morally bankrupt men are plotting to get rid of me. It's midnight. I don't have any backup and I don't even have a mobile phone. This is potentially quite bad. And what's Kyle got to do with it? I think I might make my way over to Atlas while Ryan isn't there. Maybe lock myself in.
真假啦？哦，他妈杀我，什么鬼 ？OK， 好，走。不然我去他老婆店里啊，可能他老婆也会杀我。我就待在这嘛，他怕我什么时候关嘛，对不对？所以我不能坐在这。我借住在他们家嘞，不行吗？
Couple more questions, if that's okay?
我就一直待在这。
Okay, that's it for now. Thank
他
you.
们要不要杀进来啊？把他的小三也杀掉。快跑哦！
I suppose it was too much to hope that Ryan had left the place open.
哦，在这里面被杀可不好嘞。
应该按照这里杀人最好了。
啊！对，我到了。 跟他们家嘛，借住一晚不行吗？
Few more questions, please.
我不要问 questions， 我要住在
Thank
这。
you. Probably be back later.
那我住在那胖子家，胖子家看起来很大。哇，住在他们 pub 后面，太可以了吧？我住在这哦，这一定没人找到我。不能直接打给，不然我直接到他家后面，我就坐在他车子上。坐在他车子上，坐在车子里他就找不到我。
Ask you a couple more things, please.
不要问问题啊！我要待在这啊。
Thank you. Probably be back later.
帮我上镜头起来。我在这里面没人杀到我吧？不行吗？我做成这样嘞。
你确定你是现在要找地方躲起来，而不是call警察吗？
一定要抠吗？
你就call啊！
我不要，我死不抠。
好吧，那就等死吧。我是觉得现在就要call警察，不然你就要死了。等时间到就死。
Time for a final trip to the woods。他说要去丛林里面，为什么？我去那我们就给他死杀的。
对啊，去那边，然后你要让警察看到他们刚好要杀你那个情景，不能把你抓起来。
这样吗？
有没有道理？
先存档再说。那应该不是。这很大耶。这里吗？来了。哎，他叫安静。
他是谁？
People, Casanare and Terry,
这是谁啊？
People, prove to me that you're man enough to do this, Kyle, and then you can deal with that ridiculous police inspector. Casanare and Terry, People.
What is this? What the hell? Scotland Yard. Not hell. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Inspector. What are you doing here?
Inspecting. So, come on. Let's have it.
I don't think you'd understand, Inspector. The best thing that you can do is turn around, go away, and leave us to it.
Knife. What? That knife gives me a perfect right to stick my nose in, investigate, and interfere.
This is all part of the Atlas course. It's a physical endurance exercise.
Drop the knife. The knife, Kyle!
这个女生是谁啊？
Kyle.
会不会在骂啊？刚刚有
Drop
听
it!
过。
Drop it. Not looking 100% brilliant for you, Ryan.
Oh, please, Inspector, you've poked your nose into Atlas's affairs enough times to know that imaginative flair is part of the course's success. Our lessons are reinforced by a unique emotional experience.
Terror?
It's an extremely evocative tool.
Well, it's a good job you're not in charge of the national curriculum.
Huh.
Now look, Inspector, I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're thinking. But believe me, Atlas had nothing to do with the deaths of those people.
Eyewitness account of a satanic sacrifice in the woods. That's not what we call circumstantial evidence, Ryan.
Simon. Now, I saw Simon walking home with Kate last Friday after the meeting. Now, Simon had some strange idea that he was in the running to become prime candidate. Well, a knob of butter has more chance of becoming prime minister. Oh, wait.
So are you telling me that
Simon killed her? Well, it seems reasonable. It's likely, isn't it?
any more likely than you, Ryan?
哦，靠，感觉有一种，感觉有。
I know, police brutality.
刚刚那个咒有点假哎，感觉只是声音然后反射动作而已。
You okay?
这是谁？这个人到底是谁？完全不会看他是谁。等一下，我有点诡异耶，太诡异，不就抓起来了？可是他侦探，他不能抓人，不是吗？
A few more questions, if you don't mind. What would you say if I said it's been suggested that you were seen walking home with Kate after Atlas last Friday?
What? By who?
The same person who suggested that you wanted Kate out of the picture because you found out she was in the running to be prime candidate.
Who said that?
Just a question.
I didn't think I was in the running. It was Ryan, wasn't it?
I am in no position to say.
It was Ryan.
Simon, calm down.
No, I can prove it. Kate's driving license, give it to me.
Why?
Kate's driving license, please. See that pattern on the tape there? Let me show you something. See this pattern? Oh, look at that. It's the same pattern. This has come from the same roll of tape as this. So there's only one person that's taped like that. Ryan. He gave me this piece of tape when I was in his office once. Why has Kate's driving license got a piece of Ryan's tape on it?
I have no idea, Simon.
Where did you find it?
Oh, by the lake.
But it's obvious, isn't it? Ryan was testing her. He was doing a boundary test to see how much she would do, how far she would go to be a prime candidate. But it all went wrong. Okay, it's one of the things we do at the course, right? You give something that's important to you to someone else, then they go and hide it somewhere. It's to teach you to not be bothered when you lose something that's important to you, right? Kate gives her driving license to Ryan. Ryan goes and hides it somewhere down the lake. Kate finds out, she goes down looking for it, probably drunk, and she falls in.
I'm afraid I find that a bit far-fetched, Simon.
It makes perfect sense if you know anything at all about how Atlas works.
Simon, if you got the tape from Ryan, Kate could have got it from him.
He told me he doesn't lend it out.
He lent it to you.
But I didn't kill her! Do a lab test on the card. His DNA will be all over it.
And what if yours is all over it?
It won't be. I didn't kill her. I'm sorry. Just give me a minute. I need some painkillers.
Mm. 侦探起疑的很快啊，他跑走了。他骑脚踏车跑走了，你太可爱了吧！
Where did he go in such a hurry? Is he trying to act as suspiciously as possible?
怎么跑掉了？ 太好笑了吧？说要去吃药，然后就跑掉，是你吗？又是这里吗？他不见了，好诡异。叫 Emma。
A few more questions, if you don't mind. Did Simon mention walking home with anyone after the meeting last Friday?
No, he just came home. Why?
He didn't mention walking home with Kate.
No, definitely not.
Have you seen this anywhere before?
I've seen it somewhere, but can't remember. Sorry, no.
That's all for the moment, thank you.
Simon 死去哪了？该不会跑去找 Ryan 了吧？
Questions, if that's okay. Have you seen patterned tape like this anywhere before?
Oh, Ryan's got some. I know because I borrowed it.
When was that?
A couple of months ago?
Have you still got it?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it since then.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
一直都是空的。
A few more questions, please. Thank you. Do you know how well Simon knew Kate?
Not really.
Did you ever see them together?
So why do you think he killed her?
I've no idea. Do you think he'd be capable of that?
Do you think we're all capable of it?
No, I don't.
Sure. So you've never been in your police car responding to an incident, driven past a school at high speed?
Don't know. Maybe.
Well, you've answered your own question then. When you've got a need and things get in your way, it's human nature to either ignore them or get rid of them. Any way you can. That's all murder is, isn't it?
Maybe you're right. Thank you. Probably be back later.
Simon 消失了。他们真的消失了。奇妙。
Ask you a couple more things, please.
哦，等一下。
That's it for the time being.
扫
Thank you.
查有点太夸张了，因为我觉得根本就是完全不同的胶带，胶带也太小了吧！而且我们根本不知道窗户的胶带长什么样子，完全不公平啊！这个地方是太扯了，哪有人会拿这种胶带去贴玻璃？
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
好，他说他2个月前看过的胶带，对不对？然后这个时候我们要看他的窗户，很显然他的破掉的窗户是用这个胶带，塑料袋盖过去，然后用这个胶带粘。我相信一般人都用比较大的胶带吧。
Aha.
太扯了。
You last saw that sticky tape 2 months ago. Is that correct?
Yes.
So how come you used it last week to tape over the broken window outside? That's the same tape.
Well, I must have been mistaken.
You see, the reason I'm asking is that it's exactly the same tape that was found attached to Kate's driving license, found at the scene. The tape that only Ryan has. Ryan, and of course, you.
So what are you saying?
Who's got the tape now? Do you know where it is?
No. No, I don't know where it is. Why are you asking me about this tape?
You seem nervous, Rebecca. Is there a problem?
Well, you're practically accusing me of having something to do with that woman's murder, aren't you?
I wasn't accusing you of anything, Rebecca. Unless there's something you'd like to tell me.
No, I wouldn't like to tell you anything.
Okay, well, that's fine. Obviously, we'll be swabbing everyone in the area for DNA, so if anything comes up on Kate's license, DNA traces.
What will come up? Nothing will come up. Right, I've had enough. I've got to get back.
Rebecca! Would you like to explain to me exactly what is going on?
Which bit? The fact that some leggy bitch was trying to steal my husband?
I think you had better tell me what you know, Rebecca.
Okay. You want to know what I know? Kate Vine seduced my husband and was going to blackmail him. Not only did she sleep with him, that whore did it just for his money, our money.
How did you work that out?
I heard her. I knew it was her arguing with Emma Bowman. Emma was trying to talk her out of it.
And how did she come to be at the lake?
She dropped that driving license thing when she came in. She was drunk. She dropped her bag. I took it out to the woods and stuck it over the lake. Then I waited for her. When she came out, I told her where it was, that someone had just run off into the woods with it.
You led her to the lake.
She was reaching out over the lake to get it. I didn't do anything. She just fell in.
But you let her drown.
It was dark. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't help her.
Really? Did you try, Rebecca?
Well, it was too late. She was just flapping about in the water. It was pathetic. She was making these gurgling sounds.
And what did you do?
I got a big stick. I just pushed her down with it until she stopped. Well, she was dead anyway. What did it matter?
You killed her, Rebecca.
But she slept with my husband.
She didn't, Rebecca.
What do you mean?
You got the wrong girl.
Who? Emma. It was Emma.
Rebecca Rand, I am arresting you for the murder of Kate Vine. You do not have to say anything, but anything you do say may be taken down and will be used in evidence against you. Do you understand?
Yes.
So, it appears that Kate Vine's death was a tragic case of mistaken identity. But there are some loose threads here. What was Ryan doing with Kyle and that girl in the woods? What if I hadn't interrupted? And what really happened to Liam last year? It seems I've only scratched the surface of Atlas and the Rand business empire. Trying to find out about Paul Rand's past is like peering into dense fog. He gives nothing away and covers his tracks with military efficiency. However, What is known is that Paul Rand has a lot of connections in high places, politicians, celebrities, business leaders. Perhaps James Wilson's ideas weren't too wide of the mark after all. I get the feeling there's still a lot more to learn about the Rand business empire.
You're gonna have to excuse us. Atlas is closed for the moment, but we'll be open again very soon. Thank you for your interest.
怎么会演戏啊？哎呦！
结局啊。
关键。他所有的证据。哇！拍手拍手！虽然我知道他那个场景做的应该是其实快蛮久的。哇！没想到杀手这么简单哎，我还以为真的是里面的问题。 Beth Jackson， 想知道那个女生是谁，然后还有，对啊 ，Liam 去年发生的事。他以为是 K， 真可怜 Emma， 你外遇害到你的朋友被杀了。
所以最后的凶手是谁 ？Rebecca 谁
？Simon， 等一下，是什么？太可爱了。 哦，你好，老师的老婆，
没想到。
嗯。哦 ，Daryl， 这样。哦，对啊 ，on a tiny budget， 他们只有一点点钱。哦 ，it's nice。
他们就一点点钱。
对啊，他们说只有一点点钱。对啊 ，on a tiny budget。
赚一点点钱，还是只有一点点钱？
他们只有用了一点点预算做这个游戏。哦，
完全没有任何大预算。没有啊，他光要清空那个。
哦，天西啊！为什么回到12点？好吧，我们今天玩到这，谢谢大家。
你不去试试看，为什么会回到12点？
就只是读取上一个档案而已。